All right guys, welcome back to the garage. Now, I got a big project to do on this thing. So I'm not sure how far we'll get in this video, whether we'll do the whole thing or not, just depends on how long it takes, but it may be broken up into 2 parts. So let me show you the parts I got and I'll explain what we're doing. All right, check it all out. I got it all laid out here. So what we're going with is new control arms, new sway bar links, new inner and outer tie rods, steering rack bushings. We got 6-speed engine mounts. So these will be an upgrade over the stock hydraulic engine mounts. And of course, the Brembos with the SRT spindles, brake hardware, brake lines, pads, and of course, rotors. These are fully rebuilt. I fully rebuilt these and then also redid the spindles, new ball joints in there. The control arms we got here are from Mevotech, and what I like about these is the inner bushing is a spherical bushing instead of rubber. So the arms can move any way they need without any kind of bushing bind in here, while also being stiff and solid. So no deflection or anything. So this should be an improvement with the handling, allowing the suspension to stay where it needs to be without any movement from the bushings, and also freely moving like the suspension needs to be. So a lot of guys like to use those suspension dude arms where they got those big polyurethane bushings on the inner joints here. And I've ran those before, but I've noticed on these tension arms especially, as you turn the wheel, that bushing will bind in the pocket in the cradle, because this arm will actually move it like this as you turn. So spherical bearing, much better design. Won't break down or tear like the OEM bushings do, so you don't get that knocking noise. And of course, they have new ball joints. If you go with these arms, make sure you get the 05 to 10 if you got that year car, or 11 and up, because these inner bushings are wider on 11 and up cars. Nothing special about this stuff, it's just stock replacement, but we did go with poly bushings for the steering rack. Maybe we'll get some better steering feel from those. And of course, the 6-speed mounts, just a stock replacement trans mount. I figured while we're down there, we're gonna do that. And yeah, big project. Not sure how far we'll get in this video, but let me explain how I'm gonna go about doing it. So basically, I think my plan is I'm gonna obviously get the car off the ground, take the wheels off, and I really wanna drop the whole subframe out and clean it up and repaint it. It's just how I like to do things, nice and clean. So I'm going to try to support this engine. I think I got a tool that's going to work for that. That way we can drop the whole subframe down. The engine will stay where it's at. Don't have to worry about it. And we can practically leave all the suspension bolted to the cradle and just drop it out. But I'm going to pull the steering rack off first, get that out of there. So basically all we'll have to do is unbolt this upper control arm from the spindle, unbolt the strut from the lower control arm, unbolt the end link. We'll hang the caliper off to the side, and then we should be able to just drop the whole cradle down with all that connected and disconnect it once we get the cradle out from under the car. So nothing left to do but to get this thing in the air and start unbolting stuff. All right, I got the car up off the ground. Now, if you're new here, so far all we've done in the front end is new upper control arms, the new struts with SRT8 springs, and new strut mounts. So everything else under here is getting replaced. Just a heads up, you're gonna hear a fan. It's like 90 degrees out and the sun is just baking on the garage right now. All right, like I said, the first thing I wanna do is drop the steering rack out of the way. Just less weight on the cradle when we go to drop it. So we'll undo the tie rod ends from the spindles. Those 2 lines go into the bottom of the rack there. Then you got a bolt on either side, and then the steering coupler bolt up there, right on the other side of the cradle there. And then it should just drop right out. All right, for the steering shaft bolt right up there, all I did was turn the steering wheel until I had access to it from behind here with extension, and was able to zip this out. Now I think I'm going to turn the wheel back to center so that the rack is back at center, and then we can undo these 2 lines. Then all we have left is the 2 mounting bolts. Okay, these are 18 millimeters. You want to make sure you use a line wrench, crack them loose. And I got a couple hose crimps to try to keep as much fluid from falling out of here as possible. We may have to cap these, we'll see. And I'm going to turn these the rest of the way out, and then should be able to drop the rack out. Yeah, these did nothing. I just had to make a couple plugs with a piece of hose and a bolt. But there we go. Now to rip these bolts out. All right, I got both bolts loose. It's a 15mm bolt with a 18mm nut. So both nuts are off, the bolts are just sitting in there. I should be able to just slide the bolts out, and hopefully this thing will slide off the steering shaft like it's supposed to. I might pry on it just a little bit to make sure it's loose before I try to drop the whole steering rack. Now, one thing I did not order is one of these, so I think I'm going to do that because it's pretty crusty. All right, steering rack is out. So of course, like I said, we're going to put energy suspension bushings in there and replace the inner and outer tie rods, of course, and then we'll clean it all up before it goes back in. But now I think the plan is to go ahead and undo this ball joint for the upper control arm, remove this sway bar link from the strut, remove the lower strut bolt, undo our brake line and hang our caliper up here out of the way, and ABS sensor also undo that, get that up out of the way so when we drop the subframe it doesn't pull on it. And then we'll loosen our engine mounts right there, and then we'll have to secure the engine and then hopefully just drop this subframe out. All right, got everything disconnected. So there's the caliper hanging. Got our brake line and ABS line disconnected from the spindle. Now, when you go to do this speed sensor, ABS line, don't just try to pry it out of there. Try to kind of spin it first by pushing on this top edge where the bolt goes. If you can get it to at least wiggle, that betters your chances of getting this out without it snapping. So that's all I did, was I just worked both sides until I got it to wiggle like this, and then slowly just pry up on it. And if it's still fighting you, keep trying to wiggle it, or you'll snap this thing right in half. Got the end link undone, got the lower strut bolt out, spindles disconnected from the upper control arm, got our brake stuff out of the way. So basically, we can drop the cradle with the spindle and these two control arms connected, and everything else will just stay up here out of the way. And if you want a more in-depth video on how this stuff comes apart, like if you're changing the strut or the springs or something, I got a couple videos on that. Shows everything in depth on how to undo that, so check those out. Now, if you still have the lower splash shield, you need to remove that because it covers the lower subframe right here. But now we can get to our engine mounts. That's the last thing we need to do before we can drop the old subframe itself. On mine, it's two nuts here. There's two studs coming through. I believe through the years they've changed the design of how they mount to the cradle, so keep that in mind. But I'm going to zip these off, and then we'll go up top and support the engine, and then the subframe should be ready to drop. All right, I think I got this thing set up. This is just an engine support beam from like Harbor Freight. You can get them on Amazon and stuff, but basically I found two identical holes on the heads with the bolts through for the chains so that it holds it evenly. I don't want the engine to do this or this, so I got it pretty much where I want it. I think it's just going to be staying right there when we drop the subframe. So nothing left to do but to pull the 4 bolts for the subframe and lower it down. All right, you can see I got a 2x4 there going from the front to the back of the subframe. And I got it centered the best I can so that hopefully it can kind of balance on there. After I get all the bolts out, I'll just hold one side and lower the jack, and I should be able to just balance it on there as it comes down. Well, it was going good until it wasn't. Last subframe bolt broke, and the shaft of the bolt is seized inside the subframe and it will not separate. I've been trying to get a pry bar in there to try to pry it, been pounding on it, no luck. So I might be cutting it out and just replacing the whole subframe. I mean, it's pretty nasty anyway, so it would save me a lot of time having to clean it up and repaint it. I may just replace it. So I'm going to keep working at that. Hopefully I can get it out so that some of the stud is still there, because I still have to remove the stud from the body, and I would hate to have to cut it flush here. That would just make for a bad time. I would like to have some of the stud still out. So I'm going to still try to separate the subframe from the body while keeping the stud inside and not cutting it, but I don't know if it's going to happen. Well, I think I got it. So I did end up cutting it right there in the middle. Like I said, I wanted to leave some of the bolt there, but if finally broke free. So I can lower it now. All right, it's out. I did not notice, but power steering lines were bolted to the subframe there and there, just two 10mm bolts. So keep an eye on that when you're lowering it. You don't want to yank those lines, but it's finally out. But I gotta get that stud out of the subframe. Now, this is the rear bolt on the other side. You can see totally rusted. It's actually missing material. So that's kind of what this one did. Same thing, rusted, but it happened to rust to the collar in the subframe. That's why it was seized. Luckily this one came out and I only have one to deal with, but threads look fine. So I'm hoping that it won't fight me coming out, but we're about to find out. All right, so it's the next day. I've been soaking that bolt with some PB Blaster. I can actually get to the threads up here, so I've just been spraying PB Blaster down there, but I happened to get my hands on an induction heater. So we're gonna try to get that bolt real hot, and then I'll drip some water down on it and cool it off, and we'll do that a few times to expand and contract that bolt multiple times and try to break it free, the threads free, and then we'll put some vice grips on it and see if it turns out. Perfect. All right, well, that didn't really do anything. The only thing it did was loosen the nut that's inside the body there. Basically, there's a nut that's trapped by some tabs that hold it in place, but now it's starting to get loose. So last ditch effort before we just hammer it out of there is I'm gonna weld that nut on and just start rocking it back and forth with the impact. So either the nut's gonna break off, the nut in here is gonna free up and just spin, or the stud's gonna come out. All right, those are pretty much melted together. Let's hit it. Yep, whole thing's spinning. It's getting hammered out now, but I gotta cut that nut off. So I'm gonna cut the nut and just hammer that out, and hopefully the nut will pop through the metal tabs inside the body, and then we'll just have to do a nut and bolt situation when we put the subframe back in. All right, now that that's over, I got a subframe coming since I cut this one up. I just got one off of eBay, used one, so hopefully it shows up in decent shape. Also ordered a couple more subframe bolts since this one is starting to rot. Obviously that one's junk. The front two were in great shape, so we're gonna reuse those. And I also ordered 4 engine mount studs since some of these are awfully crusty. Might as well just replace them all. I'm not even gonna fight to try to get like the good one out of this. We're just gonna trash this whole mount, put 2 new studs in those 6-speed mounts and put the 6-speed mounts in. All right, I think we're gonna go ahead and end the video here since we're waiting on parts to show up, so that in the next video, we should be able to start installing stuff again. Obviously, it was not expected to have that subframe bolt snap, but apparently it's more of a common problem than I thought. So maybe I should have expected it. So make sure you hit that notification bell. That way you don't miss the next video where we start putting new stuff in the front of this charger. Finally getting the front end all cleaned up. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.